Welcome to Digital Asset News, take your top stories in cryptocurrency digital assets and break them down to bite-sized pieces. So today, I want to take you back a little bit of a history lesson because what is going on with Ethereum right now. Ethereum is pumping, and it is either at or has already surpassed its all-time high around 1440. It's been fluctuating right now. And the date is January 19th, 11 a.m. El Paso, Texas time. And what I want to talk to you about is this crazy price prediction that I put forth, and actually I had went this video to go live on March 14th. And when I did that around that time, it was all when that craziness was just about to hit with coronavirus here in the States, and it was just a very odd time. So just to fast forward to today, we've got Bitcoin 37K, Ethereum 1400. Dots at 1655. It's up 100% for 7 days. I mean, everything's up. It's a pretty great time. This is the time that everybody wants to be in crypto. Nobody wants to be in crypto when everything's moving sideways and it's boring as hell, or it's crashing to the ground and people are calling everybody idiots because they're like, "We see, I told you crypto wasn't going to do anything." Well, here we are. So when I was taking a look at everything that I'd gone through, I was like, I think what I was looking for was my Ethereum exit strategy, because I was thinking about this last night. I was talking to a friend about exit strategies and the things to sell and what not to sell. Bitcoin, I'll probably hold on a little bit longer because you never know what's going to go on with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin could go to, it could not this bull run, but maybe next bull run, 400,000, 500,000, who knows? But it could be massive. But everything else, all the altcoins, they're all fair game in my opinion. I'm not going to hold on to a ton of them all the way. I'm going to have to sell because that's what I've been talking about for the longest time. And if history repeats itself, which it seems to do pretty well because everybody likes to talk about these cycles, if that is the case, 2021 is the massive bull run and 2022 is the time for the big dip. So I expect it to happen. I believe it will happen. I don't think we're going to go to the moon because we don't have everything in place as far as the infrastructure. I know people talk about how great it is, but I don't think it's there. I don't think it's there. Just take a look at DeFi. DeFi's got a long way to go. It could be something great, but not right now. We're not going to be putting mortgages on our DeFi anytime within the next 2 months. So that is just one aspect. Ethereum is still progressing in Ethereum 2.0. Won't be ready for at least a year. And other problems that are out there. Second layer solutions are still, right around the corner, just like flying cars. So we will see. But the thing is about getting ready for your exit strategy. I know people talk about, well, I'm just going to put into loans. Well, you can do loans. We've talked about that. But you have to make sure that those loans work for you as far as cryptocurrency collateralized loans. If you take out loans and then there's a huge crash, which is what I think will happen in 2022, then what happens? Well, those loans get called back and all the different cryptocurrency that is collateralized, well, that just gets sold off at a massive discount. So I'm not going to wait around for that. If I do take loans, it'll be for other assets, properties, land, that type of thing that can appreciate. But it's not going to be, a huge bulk of that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So exit strategies and where I see it. So actually, this video, when I made this video, it was a pretty funny time. Not this one here, the Ethereum price prediction. The Ethereum price prediction, which went live on March 14th, 2020. And I actually had pre-recorded this, again, because I went to Brazil for a volleyball tournament, and I wanted just to put some content out there. And I left it around on like March 11th, March 10th. We flew over there. It takes about a day to get there. And then it just went live on March 14th, which is pretty funny because if you remember what happened in March, that's when it was pretty stable, around $200, around $200, $250, somewhere around there. And then it would kind of, it was stabilizing around, 244, 230, something that it looks right here. But then when when I had recorded this, and then like a couple of days later, that's when we had that Black Swan event. And as soon as that happened, it went from like 220 down to like, what was this, 110? Yeah, like 120, 110, somewhere around there, 123. Pretty crappy. So, of course, when I released this, it just was really funny because the predictions that I gave were like ridiculous at the time. At the time, they were just ridiculous price predictions. And I've always said on this channel that I think Ethereum is a $10,000 token or coin. and I think it could do, great things. It's just that I don't know if it's going to happen this bull run or next bull run. Now, everybody else out there and their mother is talking about how great it's going to do, but I'm just not convinced right now. I'm just not, especially with the fees and everything else. So when I did this, and you're going to see the actual price prediction, but I do say that a conservative number is 10K. I think anywhere from 5 to 10K is pretty reasonable, and I back it up with data of what we're talking about. And on one of these, on the high-end predictions, I do say it's around 27, 28K. So, it's one of those videos. Anyhow, I want you to watch this video and just tell me what you think at the end. But the big thing is the Ethereum exit strategy. Again, you never want to sell all of your crypto because you never know if it's going to go to the moon, it's going to go to Mars or Jupiter. So you always want to keep some around. But at some point, you really need to. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. So this is what I'm going to do. This is what works for me pretty well. And I still see it as a 4-year cycle. I see it as a halving, then an all-time high, then a massive dip, and then a reset, then a halving, then an all-time high. So I'll be here in 5 years. I'll be doing this channel, and I'll be leading or talking to people about what happened before, what happened in the second bull run, now the third bull run, and I'm going to tell them what's going to happen in the fourth bull run as far as I see it. So watch this video. I'm just going to break it up to the most important parts, but it was pretty crazy timing for this one. All right, let's jump in. Season. Now, talking about all these things, where do I get to $10,000? Let's take a look. So for this one, I like to look at the Bitcoin halvings and what the price action happened. So the first halving, the first one, remember Bitcoin's around 2009, around 2012, we had our first halving. The halving, it cut the miner rewards in half. So essentially all those miners, great job everybody, but you're going to be paid half of what you did for last time, which back then wasn't too big of a deal. So I said, okay. So November 20th, 2012, the price of Bitcoin, $12.31. Jesus, that's awesome. Then in roughly a year, it went up to almost $1,000. That's super awesome. And that's an increase of about 8,000%. So we're like, great. What happened to the second one? Well, the second one on July 9th, 2016 was the date of the halving. And that was $650 on July 9th, 2016. On the all-time high for that year, and December 16, 2017, it was around $20,000. That's about a 3,000% increase. So from 8,000 to 3,000, it's went down by about 2/3, or it's a third of 8,000%. Great. So it's a third. Now from the second halving, the third halving, what's going to happen? I don't know. But if we look at history, make an educated guess. So from the first halving to the second halving for the all-time high type of thing, it went from 1 year between these two dates, about a year and a half. So maybe this one, conservatively, maybe 2 years, maybe 1 year, maybe 1.5. But if we look at history, 2 years, 1, 1.5, 2. Makes sense, right? So if we have a $10,000 Bitcoin at the price of halving, which we have almost right now, I think we're like a couple $100 away. We hit 10,000 I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. And it went down, which I knew it would. I don't see why people get so hyped up about $10,000. People are not going to FOMO in until they see like a $30,000 Bitcoin. Just telling you. So $10,000, that means between these two parts right here, we take a look at here to the relative all-time high, 20,000. 10,000, 100,000, what we're looking at is the percentage increase. So from 8,000% down to 3,000%, let's take it down to about a third. Let's say it's 1,000%. 1,000 times 3 is 3,000. 3,000 times 3 is, 9,000, but let's deal with round numbers. So 1,000% increase. So if it's 10,000 on May 2020, and we go up 10x, we're looking at 100,000 Bitcoin. Everybody got it? Great. Let's take a look at the same type of thing, but Ethereum. So Ethereum, everything being considered, the price went live on July 30, 2015 at $1. During the second halving, when the halving occurred on July 9, 2016, Ethereum was $10.91. How sweet is that? And then in December 16, 2017, just a year and a half later, it was $1,400. That is a 140x increase, roughly. Can you imagine for $10 you put in, every $10 you put in? You go to the movies, like, you and your wife, you just lost $3,000. So amazing, amazing return. That was, I mean, from $1 to $10, like 10x. But look at this one. From the second halving to third halving, we are at 221. I do not see Ethereum going down that much lower. I believe it'll only go higher towards the halving. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, it's at 200 bucks. So if we take $10 to $200, that's a 20x increase, right? 20 times 10, 200. So if we do the same thing over here, we say, well, 1,400 times 20 is $28,000. Now, before your head blows up and you just call me a charlatan, you may be right. You may be right. 20,000 is pretty high, right? That would be like almost a $3 trillion market cap. But let's just go with the 10,000 number, okay? Let's all just be easy peasy and just say, how about 10,000? So 10,000, after what we looked at, does that not seem reasonable now? Now remember, this is 2020. When people watch this video in 2 or 3 years, they were like, man, that guy was so off. Ethereum went so much higher. I'd rather say that Ethereum's going to be 10,000 than to say something wacky like 50, 60, 70, 100,000. That's a little crazy, but who knows? But I think 10,000 is definitely doable. I mean, heck, the all-time high was 1,400, and that wasn't like breaking a sweat. We didn't have the infrastructure that we had, didn't have all the different big players in the game. There wasn't the track that was laid down. I mean, DeFi wasn't even, I mean, it was talked about, but not that much. Now, we have a lot of things going for us. I think it's going to happen. So, the problem we have is getting out at the right time. Because how do we make sure that we get those profits? Well, to get these profits, we need to have an exit strategy. And let's go over that right now. Okay, so let's go over this. So here we have our Bitcoin chart. This is overall from the beginning of when it was actually recorded. We know that Bitcoin started in 2009, but this is when it was actually recorded, from 2013 all the way to today, right? Somewhere in February 20th, 2020. So we've got this overall picture. Let's take a look at what happened with this bull run. So this bull run, the last one, started around November 12th, 2017, and it was about $5,800. Now, some people would say, well, the bull run started back here, it started over there, but just for the sake of argument, let's just put it right around here, because that's when we see a nice little trend line go vertical. Fantastic. So what happened? So from November 12th to December 17th, that's about a month. It went from $5,800 down here to about $20,000 here. So you had to hit your peak roughly around 4 weeks, 3.5, 4 weeks, something like that. And then what happened? Well, the problem is that after that, you go through what I call a slow burn. This one sucks. This is what I went through, and it's awful. What you see is it keeps going up and up and up, and mentally you're thinking to yourself, this will never go down. This is awesome. I'm good to go. I'm the smartest man alive. I'm a genius. Nothing can stop me. And then you start to see these things just kind of toil down and down and down. You're like, oh, it'll go back up. And it goes up a little bit, and then it goes down, down, down. And it goes up, and it goes down. And before you know it, you're stuck over here, and the price is $6,200. And depending on where you bought, you can either be like wrecked or super wrecked. And especially if you held it all the way down to $3,000 like I did, because I am stubborn and do not like to take losses. However, as a good teacher, puts ice in your veins and teaches you to be patient. Now this leads me to the moment we've all been waiting for, the Ethereum exit strategy. Now, I've learned some things along the way, and I can tell you this, that if you don't have a strategy in place, your mentality will hold you back. Because just like what I talked about, you think, oh, it'll never go down, it'll keep going up, and I can wait a little bit. Before you know it, you start losing and losing and losing. And nobody can predict the top or the bottom. I don't care if it's Nostradamus himself. You will not be able to time it right. It just doesn't happen. And all the TA people that say, oh, I can do it, you're full of it. You're full of it. Dollar cost average in and out, and you'd be fine. So here's my exit strategy. So I'm thinking to myself, it's going to go to 10,000, right? And hey, look, it might go to 100,000. I don't know. But I want you to notice one thing. The amount of Ethereum remaining. Just watch this number, okay? So let's say I'm going to think around $1,000 I want to sell, and right next to this $1,000 is a price point of $993. Now, why do I have $993? Well, I learned this from Mr. BXRP, pretty smart guy. He said, look, everybody's going to have their sell walls. They're going to pick these points of like round numbers. Everybody likes round numbers, right? So they're going to put those in, and then on the exchanges, all these different sellers are gonna come in, and you can just get passed by, and that's a problem, right? So if you have it at 1,000, you might miss out. But if you had a 993, then boom, 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 everything gets taken care of, and you're good to go. Now all the other people at 1,000, they have to wait sometimes because they're all huddled together. But you are smart. You put it at 993 or 992 or 984 or whatever it is, some kind of crazy number below that round number point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell about 5%. So let's say I have 40 Ethereum. So 5% of 40 is 2. I'm just going to sell 2. And I've got 38 left, and I'm going to profit $2,000. 2 times 1,000, 2,000. I can get that. I know that math. All right. Let's say it goes at 2,000, right? So I'm not going to sell 2,000. I'm going to sell like around some crazy number, 1,968, somewhere around there, right? And I'm going to sell 10%, which means I'm going to sell 4. So if I sell 4 from 38, now I got 34. 4 times 2,000, 8,000. So right there, hopefully in a small amount of time, because if you went around for the 2017 bull run, you know that how fast things can go up. They can double like that. So maybe in 3 or 4 days, I made 10 grand. It's a good day, right? And let's just say that, I don't know, I didn't do this, but if I did do this, let's say I bought 40 Ethereum at 200 bucks. All right, well, that's about, what, 8,000 bucks? So if I just sell, you know, my 4 and 2 right here, I've made more than my money back, and everything's good. Now I'm just living the dream, baby. I'm riding a gravy train with biscuit wheels, no problems, no issues, and I'm just waiting for this train to come in. So let's say I think it's going to go to 4,000, which I do believe. I picked this number, 37.89, I don't know. And I'm going to sell 20%, get a little feisty. So I sell 7, I have 27 left, and I make $28,000 profit. Pretty good, right? Now we go to 6,000, 59.92, 20%, 5. So you can see how this all rolls in. And to leave you not short, you don't have to pause this video and watch it. In the description, I have my Bitcoin, my Ethereum, and XRP and Ethereum exit strategies all in a Google spreadsheet. You can access it anytime. Take a look. This is just what I'm doing, not financial advice, just what I personally am doing. Now, if you are someone who is younger than me and like want to let it roll, let it roll. Don't take any profits out. It's up to you. I don't care what you do personally. Only thing I do want to say is don't be like me and hold bags for years and years and years without taking some profit, because it keeps things tight. And I always thought that things were going to go up, but it never actually did. So just be careful. That's all. And yeah, but I want you to notice one thing about this amount remaining. At the very end of all these things, I still have a Bitcoin. I still have a lot of XRP. I still have Ethereum. I still have EOS. I still have Chainlink. I still have Cardano. I still have a lot of those, even after my exit strategy, because I never know if these things really do hit, not the moonshot, the Mars shot, where it just goes like crazy bonkers, $50,000 Ethereum. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that video. I know, pretty crazy, right? Anywhere between 10K and like 27, 28K, but I mean, that's what the data shows us. And could we do that? Yeah, sure, why not? But I mean, will we definitely gonna do it? Nobody knows. Nobody has any clue. Nobody has, I mean, they have some sort of a clue, but nobody's Nostradamus, and that's it. So just be careful and play it smart. I'm going to stick to my exit plan that I put up all those months ago. I still think it's going to serve me pretty well. I mean, we're coming up to March again. It's been a year, and that's what I'm going to stick to. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and thanks for sticking with me. If you like these types of videos, there'll be 2 minutes going to pop up on your left and right. Let YouTube do its magic, and that's all. So thanks so much. See ya on the next one.